Namaste, this is Sujata Vaidya, student of Diploma in Indian Knowledge Systems. I am attempting the oral examination and describing Shushrut Samhita. Basically, where there are humans, there is the concept of health. And healing traditions and medical practices are deeply ingrained into culture. The oldest known civilization, the Vedic people, had their own special system of healthcare, and the Vedas clearly have ingrained the knowledge of healthcare systems in their doctrine of Ayurveda. Now, there are two main scriptures that are included in Ayurveda healthcare. One is the Charak Samhita, and the second is the Shushrut Samhita. The third one being that form the Brihat Trayati, that is Ashtang Hridaya. So Shushrut Samhita is very special in the aspect that it is very closely related to the modern medical systems that are revolving around surgical interventions. Now, Ayurveda has numerous branches. 8 of the main branches are those that consist of, they are called the Ashtang. One is surgery, minor surgeries and major surgeries, treatment of various diseases, uh, diseases that are caused by unknown factors. They refer to them like demons or ghosts. Healing of diseases that are specific to children, toxicology, Rasayan Shastra, which is rejuvenation, and of course Vajikaran, that is treating with special herbs. Shushrut Samhita in its extent is a very vast scripture that not only includes the kind of surgeries that were conducted at that time, the tools that were used, the philosophy behind the methodology of the surgical interventions themselves, patient care, preparations of herbs that are required for surgical intervention, and a lot of emphasis was given on ethics, on hygiene, on patient care that included not only the physical but also the mental aspect of the patient, and tremendous emphasis on surgical cleanliness. The concept of marma. Now, marma are specific points on the body that govern the functioning, the physiological actions in the body, is also a part of Shushrut Samhita. And what is popular as acupressure in those days used to be called marma chikitsa, in which more than 100 vital points, marma, have been described in this particular scripture. A deep study of the anatomy of the human body is very essential before you take up something as advanced as surgical interventions. So, Shushrut Samhita has classified the anatomy very specifically. It gives a lot of focus on the skeletal system, the muscular system, the manner in which the various organs are placed, the action of the various organs, their interdependence, including the mention of the endocrine systems, which is very, very special and is considered modern, but it was prevalent even at that time. Different kind of surgical techniques have been described in Shushrut Samhita, and some of them are quite difficult surgical procedures, not the simple ones. Shushrut Samhita is more popular for what is known as cosmetic surgery, especially the replacement of broken or torn away nose and ears. But Shushrut Samhita contains a lot of very, very specific kind of surgical intervention. And one can imagine so many thousands of years ago, what is the kind of knowledge, what is the kind of infrastructure, what is the kind of tools and technology our rishis may have used and taught as a part of healthcare. Surgeries like cauterization, tooth extraction, abscess draining, these seem simple, but something more difficult like removal of the prostate glands or surgeries for the intestine, cesarean sections, management of fistula, hemorrhoids, of intestinal obstructions, something like possibly deep set intestinal surgeries, surgeries that came about to correct the diseases, or let's say the discomforts of war, the kind of fractures that are related to such kind of events. These were all treated in the Shushruta Samhita. Uh, it not only include details about the surgeries, but they have more than 120 very specific surgical instruments. Now, these instruments have to be very fine, they have to be very precise, and they have to be functionally usable. In the Shushruta Samhita, there are a few surgical instruments that were designed around animal jaws, like the grip of the jaw or the grip of the claw. And this is something that improved the outcome, and also it helped the students learn the use of different surgical instruments. Very fine needles for stitching up, very fine knives, cutting tools for going in deep, very fine kind of instruments that kept the tissues apart when internal organs were being treated. All of this is covered. A very special part of the Shushruta Samhita puts a lot of emphasis on the training which is given to futuristic doctors, surgeons, let us say, that who qualifies to become a surgeon. What is the mindset of the person who takes up something as difficult as surgery? This is very important. Obviously, there are a lot of combination of herbal medicines, a deep classification of the different kind of diseases, not only different kind of diseases, but the extent of each kind of disease, at what time is surgery expected to be done. There is a section on preventive medicine that is very special to Shushruta also, that something should not go worse. And there have been cases, there are records where they have shown something like amputation, and not only just amputation, but also giving artificial limbs to the person who has lost his limbs, legs or hands, legs essentially. Special part about Shushruta Samhita is that our ancient Vedic philosophies and knowledge has gone around the world, and there is proof that it is translated into the Arabic language sometime way back in the 8th century possible, and that time it was translated as Kitab ul Shushrut. So they have also maintained the name of Shushrut for this particular science. So our medical science that belonged to yesteryears was valid then, and it is valid today. And with the changing circumstances, we will have more people coming forward using this particular Indian knowledge system with a lot of respect and promise. Thank you.